Namaskar to all the dignitaries and respected chair and my co-panelists. Namaskar to all the seekers of truth in front of me. We are all aware of the challenges we are facing these days. The challenges are not only small times challenges, the challenge is survival, sustainability, and survival of this planet itself. So these are big challenges which we have to address now. There is no, we can't wait to address. And we have seen that our present solutions which we are offering are not really working. So maybe we have to go back to ancient wisdom. That's why Dharma traditions are very important. My co-panelists will talk about different streams of Dharma traditions. I'll be talking today about lesser known stream of Dharma tradition, which is Jain philosophy. Since the time is limited, so I'll limit myself to Jain philosophy itself and try to explain what it has to offer for facing those challenges, which we are all aware of. Jainism or Jain philosophy is a way of life, and it's very ancient. They claim it's older than any other culture, but at least 2600 years we have a documented history of this particular stream of Dharma tradition. The last Tirthankar of Dharma tradition, the last proponent or exponent of Dharma tradition, Jain tradition, was Mahavir, and there were 23 before him. So he was the last, the 24th. Now, it's a very rich, very complex, and very, what you can say is foundationalist. It's not foundationalist, but there are fundamental principles which can cover almost every aspect of human life. It's difficult to enumerate everything here, but I'll just put 3 principles which are key to Jainism or Jain philosophy. They are called 3 A's of Jainism: Anekan, Aparigraha, and Ahimsa. Let me do it the other way. Ahimsa is non-violence, Anekan is non-absolutism, and Aparigraha is non-possessiveness. These 3 A's can actually encapsulate what Jainism has to offer to resolve the problems which we are facing. The first is Ahimsa, that is non-violence. This is the supreme virtue in Jain tradition. And Ahimsa here is simply not, normally we understand Ahimsa as a behavioral norm where you are not supposed to kill anybody, to harm anybody, and torture anybody. Jainism takes it to its extreme and tells you that Ahimsa is of 3 levels. Non-violence not only is killing somebody, but non-violence is to be practiced in mind, words, and deeds, all 3. Jainism believes that violence is a mindset. It's a mental attitude. You first are violent in mind and then you express it through deeds or words. So first it has to be corrected. Your mindset has to be corrected, and there you have to realize that why violence is not the right thing to do. Why should I be non-violent? This is the question Jainism addresses. And the first answer which they gave is that there is equality of all living beings, equality of souls. This was actually, when they are talking of living beings, they are saying living beings are of 5 kinds. There are living beings who are 5 sensed, like human beings, some animals. Living beings who have only 4 sense organs. Living beings which have only 3 and 2, and there is they are living beings who have one sense only, that sense of touch. And that includes even plants, water bodies, fire, air. So Jainism has expanded the notion of living beings. Now when we are talking about living beings and we are saying that non-violence is to be practiced with all living beings, then it includes the whole universe in itself. And all living beings are equal. So you have to respect plants, vegetation, fire, water, all these things equally as you respect the human beings. Now, so this is one thing which is so important, because of this Jainism has all practitioners of Jain philosophy, they have to follow vegetarianism. They have to be very careful with consumption of water, air, fire and natural goods. So it's not only harming human beings only, it includes almost everything on the universe. Now, since non-violence is such an important virtue in Jainism, Mahavir actually declared ahimsa paramo dharma. This is the highest duty. You may not do anything, but if you are non-violent, you are dharmic. This is the final virtue. This is the supreme virtue. But with this, they have included another important principle, which is aparigraha, which is, I think, is of more relevance for us today. That aparigraha is non-possessiveness. It is believed, it is prescribed that you have to minimize your accumulation. Minimize your accumulation. Unless you do so, actually accumulating too much is kind of violence towards others, because you are depriving others of their rights. So this is another important principle, in which is based on minimal consumption and minimum exploitation, minimum accumulation. So you have to minimize your accumulation and you have to minimize your consumption, which means, translated in other words, you have to reduce consumerism, you have to reduce exploitation of nature, indiscriminate exploitation of nature for human beings. Imagine talking of this principle 2600 years back, where there was no scarcity of natural resources, and still this philosophy had that foresighted vision that it could be, unless we practice aparigraha, unless we practice non-possessiveness, we won't be able to sustain the planet. We won't be able to sustain life on planet, because it's and you have to practice it in your day-to-day life. It's not simply a virtue to just chant. It's like you have to practice it, and that's why Jains, I would just share this, that most of the Jain people have this vow that they decide that they will have this much money only, they will consume this much goods only, they will wear this much clothes only. So they have to delimit their material possessions, and secondly their desires, ichha purna. So this is the second principle, which is very important, and I think which can address, which can resolve many of the issues which we are facing these days. The third one is another most important, the most important in the sense that I think this is unique contribution of Jainism to human knowledge, is that their theory of, or their principle of non-absolutism. They believe that there is, the reality is infinitely complex, and it's difficult for human mind to understand it or comprehend it in totality. We only understand its one aspect or the other aspect. So we have to understand that this is, whatever we know is just one perspective, and it's a relative perspective. There may be other perspectives of looking at the same thing. So this is multiplicity of, they accept multiplicity of relative perspectives, which means that you are always open to other way of looking at the same things. So maybe what looks 6 to me may look 9 to you. looking from different side. So, and both of us can be right. Both of us can be right, though we are saying different things. I am saying it is 6, you are saying it is 9, but it is still, we are both right. So that's what Anekant tells you, non-absolutism, that all statements which we make as human beings are relatively true. This is relative truthness, multiplicity of relative truths. This is what Jainism propagates and believes that this is what is going to bring mutual respect, harmony, and generousness for other viewpoint. You have to open yourself for the other viewpoint and respect the other person who is maybe disagreeing with you, but this is his perspective and you have to understand his perspective. So this is the beginning of learning to know the other perspective, and then if you learn, if you get to know, and I think the whole enterprise is to get to know the other perspective. And once you understand it, you learn to respect. So this is the foundation for mutual respect and mutual love and mutual understanding of each other. So I think if these 3 principles are followed, non-violence, non-possessiveness and non-absolutism, the world will become a better place to live and it will be a lovable place to live.